Hello everybody, this is Alex from Hardcoring Guides, bringing my run for BioShock Wrench only on Survivor difficulty with no Vita-Chambers. And today we are starting off with Arcadia. So this is going to be the first level that's going to have the double, bathysphere back and forth type ordeal. Where we're not going to take the bathysphere to like a completely new area, we're just going to have like a door that leads into the farmer's market, of course. And in the remastered version for this game, you don't need to actually light the torch to get into this one room. I don't know why that was a specific change that they added. Who knows? Another thing that's going to be happening in Arcadia that's a bit different, because Arcadia is kind of a sort of like a middle ground level, sort of. This is where things start to become less beginner and more toward the intermediate sections of BioShock. Not that necessarily anything's too hard, but that's why I say like this is a pretty good divide between something like Medical Pavilion and Neptune is pretty hard on itself actually, but still I feel like Arcadia definitely steps up difficulty just a little bit. So when it comes to new stuff that Arcadia is going to be introducing, of course it's going to be the Houdini splicers, and as you saw there, I pretty much just take the pictures pretty much immediately when I see him. That way I can just kind of get that out of the way. You can actually, in fact, do damage to him, over the course of him disappearing. And, if you do hit him, he will basically stop and the game will just cease to function properly. And once you go through this door, he's going to appear behind you, just whack him. I think once you get your first camera research on him, I think that's when you get... You know what? This is going to sound weird. I can't remember. Either it was you get damage on him, or it was you can spot him faster. Or spot them faster. I'm sorry, because, there are more than just one type of Houdini. So, yeah. Anyway, that's our first little guest. And, of course, another new thing we can actually start doing now is we can finally start taking pictures of Thug Splicers. Granted, you could have gone back to, like, Medical Pavilion and dealt with the Big Daddy if you wanted to by now. You probably could do it, but I'm still going to wait at least until Fort Frolic before I start dealing with all that stuff. And right now I think we're on episode 5. Yes, we're on episode 5. So I still have yet a couple more videos before I do there. Episode 7 should be the one where I start to go back. I did, more clips of me going back to, the older levels and fighting off the Big Daddies. So, yeah. In this room, there's going to be, of course, a turret at the very far end. I just, shock it and hack it. That way I just have a little bit of a buddy to kind of provide me some backup. So that way I could just, come in here and deal with all this stuff. And just let him do his thing and take care of some of the leadheads. Because at this point in time, you've probably at least taken quite a bit of pictures of leadheads, I would assume. So, you most likely have quite a lot of research done by now if you are playing with the camera. There is, of course, the turret that, you can, of course, take pictures of as well. But they're relatively harder to end up taking pictures of because of just how fast, they react and shoot you pretty much on sight. Unlike, with a security bot, which takes just a little bit longer to shoot you. And security bots just tend to miss more often just because they're flying around. That just seems to be the case no matter what. So, but of course, with turrets, they typically are relatively good and accurate at shooting you down until you're out of their line of sight. But you guys probably know by now how that stuff works. Because, after all, this isn't really much of a guide. This is just more of like a run. And like I said before, if you take it as a guide, that's fine. If you don't think it's a guide, that's fine. Just, keep in mind that this isn't supposed to exactly be one. But, I don't mind people taking it. It's kind of like a half and half sort of type situation. So, we enter here. And, the guy just dies on his own. That's just, a scripted event that happened. I usually like to go up that way first, just to get him out of the way. I've never really gone the back way to take him out. I've never really looked into it. That's something maybe I could do on another playthrough one day, just for the hell of it. I totally forgot that I had the security bot hacked. And that's pretty much why I was taking that damage like a moron. And, yeah, that happens. But, yeah, I think that was our first camera research on a Thug Splicer down there. And with that, we now have access to Sport Boost, which is going to pretty much make it to where we hit with our wrench much faster. And as you can definitely see in this game, there's a lot of wrench tonic specific stuff, which is very nice. There's not that many gun specific stuff, because usually with guns, you just kind of upgrade the guns and go from there. There is like Machine Buster, which you could consider kind of a gun/weapon upgrade. There is, of course, camera tonics. I didn't mean to say upgrade, I meant to say tonic, because I know that's going to probably rustle some jimmies when I say that, and I say it wrong. And I'm sure some people are going to get pissed off and start throwing fits in the comment, section or whatever, but, that's just how it is. Yeah, so basically, there are tonics for camera, there are tonics for, like I said, not really weapons, but there are like things that do kind of help with that. Like I said, with Machine Buster and Photographer's Eye, getting more damage, research, that type of stuff does, of course, kind of go back into your weapons, because what else you could be doing damage with, basically. I'm actually curious if anybody has ever done a pacifist run for BioShock. I'm sure somebody probably has. I could probably go look one up right now, but I don't want to type in my keyboard on video because I'd be unprofessional, but, it's just, it's okay, it's fine, whatever. It's no biggie. Also, for anybody wondering why this video took so long to even, start to make, I am now commentating this video as of New Year's. This is now the 1st of January of 2023, and this is my first commentary of the year, is, funny enough, BioShock, and also, funny enough, Arcadia, which is actually not my favorite level of BioShock. I don't really much care for Arcadia and Farmer's Market. Every time I get to Arcadia/Farmer's Market, I just kind of get a little bit bored of going through here and doing all this stuff. So, yeah, right there, I just let the Big Daddy take on the Leadhead. Not a big deal. She doesn't really do enough damage to him anyway to really be remarkable enough for me to want to actually take him on. And as you can definitely see, he's doing not a lot of damage to her in general, besides with his grenades. His proximity mines, I should say. His rivet gun doesn't seem to be doing that much damage in general, but if that was us, we'd be dying, that's for sure. Because that's just how the game works. Leadheads on Survivor are typically a lot more tankier than they normally should be. That's just the unfortunate nature of the difficulty slider for BioShock. That's one thing that I've always kind of fought, not really tooth and nail about, but I've always kind of been a little bit iffy about, not just in terms of BioShock, but in terms of just hard mode in general. I've always kind of felt like hard mode should be a thing where it's maybe the enemies hit harder, or maybe the enemies are more reactive, or maybe they're faster. I don't like... Now, maybe I'm the only one, I don't know. But God of War, BioShock, I think even Silent Hill, to an extent, does this. I'm not sure about, Resident Evil and stuff. I don't like play them enough to really say. They do this thing where, for some reason, the enemies are just tankier. Like, yeah, they do a little bit more damage, but... Or, in a sense, you take more damage, quote-unquote. But the thing is, I'm just not a big fan of having to just whittle away, at increments of health on an enemy, especially a Leadhead. Because, as you can see, Leadhead's, the only ones that really ever give me that much trouble. Yeah, Big Daddies, of course, too, but, with Houdini's, like you saw that right there, a nice, electric shock, electro bolt straight to the fucking dome, was enough to, one, nice 1-2 punch hit was enough to basically do quite a bit of damage. Now, granted, you could say, well, they're Houdinis, they're kind of weak anyway. Yeah, that's true. Same thing with Thugs. I think Thugs are a good level of difficulty. I think they're a pretty good level of that. They don't have too much damage. They're close range. They make sense. But Leadheads are just too damn tanky. And I'm fine with Big Daddies being tanky because that's kind of the idea of it. And plus, BioShock is not necessarily meant to be played the way I'm playing it, with wrench only. You can do it, but, the intended way normally is just to play the game, well, pretty much however you feel, of course, but mainly, they give you guns, you might as well use them, that type of thing. Now, with this part right here, I could have just shucked the camera and just ran off, but I was too damn determined to kill this bastard. And then, luckily for me, I found an armor-piercing pistol round, and I thought I was going to do it. Oh, no, it wasn't the pistol rounds, it was the... That's right. It was that pumpkin thing. That's what it was. I thought it was the armor piercing. No, it wasn't that. Now, it would have been ironic, though, considering the fact that, shoot a case, right at the camera, blow it up with the armor-piercing one. But, yeah, anyway, I could have shocked the camera and just left, because it's too high up to hit. I could have shocked him, left him alone, or just, didn't bother with it anyway. Or just, get the bots on my ass and have them come, chase me down and then turn them off and then take a couple of buddies with me. Although there will be, of course, some bots that do show up later. There's going to be a bot that shows up with, a lead, so you deal with him. I hacked this turret right here just for the sake of potentially coming back and dealing with the Big Daddy. I don't remember if I did finish all the Big Daddies or not. And also, yeah, my run right there was basically thwarted. As you can see, I whipped out the shotgun, so it's no longer a range-only run. I failed. Yeah. But yeah, with I don't remember if I come back and fight the Big Daddy or not. I don't remember. I think I go back to Medical Pavilion to deal with that one. I'm pretty sure. And I think I'm pretty sure I deal with the ones at Fort Fallout, because I found a little bit of a, let's just call it a strat, I guess you could say, where you could pretty much hide out. I'm going to tell you right now. Basically, when you go into the strip bar, when you go into Eve's Garden, inside there's going to be like that stripper pole. And if you lead the Big Daddy to it, if you stand like facing toward the door, there's like that little bit of a step that he can't seem to get over. Now, granted, Big Daddies have a will to tend to do things that, most likely you wouldn't think they would be able to do. Sometimes the Big Daddies are capable of actually climbing up that damn stair, or that damn step, at least from the sides, from what I've noticed, and attacking you, which I will probably most likely talk about that in Fort Frolic when we get there, which is a few videos from now, but hey, we'll get there when we get there. So yeah, now I get, of course, more. I'll also keep on, Medical Expert just for the sake of keeping it on. Because, having that bit of extra health and not having to waste so many damn med packs just kind of helps. But yeah, having Sport Boost 2 is definitely going to be very helpful, especially for later when we start getting, lifesteal and all that other fun stuff. So yeah, my brain's not working right now. I keep fucking up the tonic names. I know the name, but my brain doesn't want to seem to register it, and I can't wait to hear about it in the comments. So that's gonna be fun. I'm trying to think of what else. Basically, from here on out, I'm just gonna, pretty much just do the main objective of getting the rose and heading back to, dumbass over here and getting her damn rose. She can't just do it her damn self, so it is what it is. That's just BioShock in a nutshell. Although, I've played these games enough to the point where, well, I know where to go. That's, even without, the quest marker, I'm pretty sure I'd probably be able to just eventually make my way there and be like, oh yeah. Although I typically have the quest marker on just for the sake of, like, in case my dumbass does kind of mess up, which, can happen. But yeah, also another thing that I noticed is, as you see right there, for some reason the Houdinis have just all of a sudden gotten stronger than what they used to be, which is really weird. They've gotten much more, a little bit more tankier, but granted that could just be me thinking things, because I did Electro Bolt the first one, and, he did go down pretty damn fast. Not the first one, but like, the one after, I think I'm pretty sure I Electro Bolted him and got him pretty good. But now we have Damage Plus, and we've already finished off the entirety of the Thug line, which is pretty impressive. At least I think that's what it was. I think it was the Thugs I finished off. If not, maybe the Leathers. Now, in here, there's going to be like 3 turrets and a camera. One of the turrets, you can pay no mind to it, basically, because it's not going to be much of a thing that's really going to bother you too much, because it just kind of just exists. And I had the money. I hacked the first turret. Just for the extra little bit of protection, because why not? I kind of like to have something, protecting my ass when I'm doing a wrench only. Because destroying everything, like, yeah, that does work, but just having that extra little bit of, a helping hand makes things just a little bit better. Also, I don't think I'm going to really want to commentate the rest of Farmer's Market. Also, back on track, because I need to stop doing this. I need to stop doing this. My train of thought keeps changing. So anyway, I was talking about why I wasn't doing these videos yet and why this was like the first one in a while. Because it's been, let's see, last one I uploaded was December 27th, so like 2 days after Christmas. And I don't know when I recorded commentary for those. So I'm not too far off, but Basically, a lot of the reason why is because, like, you know, it's been Christmas time. It's been kind of a little bit hectic, boring. You know, mostly going to, like, boring parties and shit and just being bored out of my mind. I don't know. I don't mean to sound like a Grinch or a Scrooge or anything like that, but I've kind of grown tired of having these fucking party things. You know, I didn't want to go in the first place, but then my brother wanted to go, and I was like, alright, fine, whatever. You know. He's like, oh, it's Christmas. And I was like, ugh. Sure, fine. And then it just, yeah. But then we also had other parties. Yeah, they were fun, but, like, we did it so much to the point where, like, you know, my whole week was pretty much just flooded with do this, do that, you know what I mean? So, that's where a lot of my time went into. And then other stuff, too. I got a life outside of this shit. You know, I don't just focus on only doing videos anymore, you know? And that's the thing, though, too. I really want to talk about also, but hang on, let me mute my mic real quick. Okay, I think we're back. Something I kind of want to do this year, a sort of Suedo New Year's resolution thing. There's tons of them. I have a whole list of fucking New Year's resolution things I want to do. But one of them is, well, first of all, I don't want to be a numbers guy anymore. I don't know why I am that way anyway, especially with YouTube. With my art, I mean, sure, whatever. I mean, yeah, it's still bad, but it's better than being a numbers guy on YouTube, though, because that's terrible. But my main thing is to maybe just stop focusing on YouTube this year. Like, just really stop this whole YouTube thing and just really, really, truly make it a hobby. Which it already is, but I mean, like, go even further of just, like, you know, upload whenever the hell I feel like uploading. And uploading for my sake, which is something I was doing last year, but I really want to do it even more this year, is just only really upload when I feel like it's necessary enough to upload. And, you know, I don't think guides are going to disappear anytime soon or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but hey, you know, just keep in mind that there might be a little bit of a stretch between, you know, an episode or two, or there might even be like a bit of a stretch between the next guide or so or whatever. And, you know, that would have been fine earlier on, you know, last year, which I was hoping to eventually be able to do, well, not only just more guides, but just have a nice little break between and be able to have Pikmin be uploaded, but that disappeared. So that's just how things are, you know. So yeah, other than that, but yeah, you saw a fast forward of that. I'm not gonna make you guys sit there and watch the entire thing of me walking back. It's boring. Luckily for me, though, BioShock isn't boring to play or watch, so it's just that even then still I don't want to deal with all that walking back crap, you know. I don't want to see all that fluff. It's just, yeah, it's whatever. In other sort of good news, for those that have kept up with this channel for long enough, I know I said I don't really want to do too much YouTube stuff this year, but I still want to do stuff. I still want to do, like, guides, you know, here and there. I'm just saying, like, there might be more stretches in between. That's all I'm getting at. One thing that I want to do, and this surprised me, was I actually kind of want to do a God of War 2 guide on Titan. Yeah, I kind of want to do one. And for a while, like, if you guys remembered me talking about it before, but I got bored doing the commentary. I've tried God of War 2 multiple times. I just get bored of it. Not because, like, it's a bad game. I just am never in the mood to play God of War. Like, the old God of War, I'm just never in the mood. But then recently, you know, with the new God of War that came out, I kind of wanted to go back and play God of War 2 again. And, well, I found out that I actually kind of enjoyed it a little bit. You know, it's been a while. So, and then I played Ghost of Sparta, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. Like, you know, it really has been a while since I played it. I think what really ruined my mood for it was probably playing so much God of War 1 and then doing that damn marathon. At this point, what, 3 years ago? 4 years ago? I don't remember. Because I stopped my YouTube channel around like 2019. And I just want to say, for those that don't like the fact of me quitting YouTube for a few years, I mean, yeah, come on, man. Like, you know, come on. Come on, fan, come on. At that point, you're basically, probably most likely a part of the problem of why I quit in the first damn place. So, you know, keep in mind that, like, I can do with my channel what I wish. So, if I decide to quit right now, I can do it. I have that ability. But the only way I'll ever truly quit is if I just delete all the damn videos. That way I have nothing to go back to and nothing to return to. So that way I'm gone for good. But yeah, that's enough depressing talk. Let's just leave that behind us and just go with, you know, the run and get to Fort Frolic next. So, or it's not Fort Frolic. I don't know when I'll do the next video, but I'll see you when I get there. So, as always, take care, everybody.